for me, but pretty much Snipes
I
knows
actually,
better.
yeah. One last thing that I wanted to talk about was, and I know we're running out of time, but it just happened upon me because we were talking about Boku no Hero Academia and the anime. And since it came out this season, I wanted to ask you guys if you're watching any other anime that came out this season as well.
So we're talking spring season 2016.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I'll go first.
yeah.
I've been watching Sakamoto Desuga and Boku no Hero Academy, of course, and Kiss Naiver. This is the only three anime that I'm watching this season. I've heard there's other good ones like ReZero and the one with the Iron Fortress, but I'm going to talk about the three that I'm watching in particular order, starting from Sakamoto Desuga because it's number three in my list right now for this season because it's a funny show, but it's definitely not at the level of the other two. Sakamoto is this cool guy. I think his character is just as much of a parody as Saitama is because he's not cool in the least sense. Everything that he does is totally crazy and stupid, but everybody still thinks he's cool for some reason. So I think his character is supposed to be a parody, and that's what makes it funny. When everybody thinks whatever he does, like make butt poses and sit up in trees and talk to birds, when people think that's cool when it's actually not. And then there's obviously Kiss Naiver, which a lot of people shitted on that anime when it started. They said it wasn't great at all. I saw a lot of negative reviews on my anime list. People dropped it along the way. They said the story, there was no action, and that it was totally stale. But those exact same people are now talking about how great Kiss Naiver is and how awesome the story has picked up and how they can't wait for the anime to finish and how they're so excited about the finale. The thing is, the story was always going at the same pace. The story of Kiss Naiver is for people who can actually sit through an anime that can, make them think instead of just saying, "Oh wow, that was great. That guy punched that other guy in the face." I don't think every anime has to do with action. But having said that, I still like Boku no Hero Academia more than Kiznaiver because of the action scenes, and I think that factor went up by 10 during the last episode when All Might went up against Nobu and proceeded to defeat him. I still don't know what's going to happen in the 13th episode, but I'll be damned if I'm not excited as hell. So yeah, that's my view on the anime that I watched this season.
Oh wow. That was kind of an essay, an oral
Sorry.
essay. Uh, okay, Arza is really passionate about the spring season here that we
Sebastian,
had
you
here.
kill me.
Uh, to be honest, when it comes to seasonal anime and me, I'm this guy that gets extremely excited as soon as new anime are announced. I watch all the previews. I read everything about the show there is to know. I might even check out the source material. I place like 12 anime in my to watch list, and then I end up watching like I don't know, two. uh, so the selection for the season uh, has been Kotetsujo no Kabaneri, or how do they
Oh, the Iron
it's called in
Fortress one. I
English.
knew it.
Mm-hmm.
The
Uh,
Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, right?
yeah,
That's what it's
Kabaneri of
called.
the Iron Force, made by Studio Wit. It's an anime original, and most people are calling it a not spin-off, but a rip-off of Attack on Titan, with the second season apparently being delayed. Uh, but it's not really. It's kind of a steampunk world, and it has, of course, the same action, the same amount of action that Attack on Titan had, and that was what made it popular. And Cabaneri, of course, also has that. Uh, and it's just really an enjoyable show to watch. It's just this fast-paced action with people smashing heads, and to just relax, that's great. Uh, then I've also watched Joker Game, which is about basically spies during the Second World War. Uh, I mean, quality-wise, it was decent, but I enjoyed it greatly. Uh, I'm not going to say too much more than that, because this season, although it seemed to be really good, it was actually quite meh. And no, I have not read or watched Boku no Hero Academia, so I can't comment on that. But the hype is real. That's all I know.
What I've been watching this season is
Yeah.
Boku no Hero Academia. I don't know if this is like the spring season, but for me, it's been very enjoyable. As Arza said, they raised the hype factor. I remember reading those chapters and thinking nothing of it, but the way how it is animated has brought a genuine impression for me to like just try to reread that. I've also been watching Kiss Naver, and that's pretty much an anime that I'm going to review to really put my thoughts into it. Like, there's a lot of morals and lessons, but it's been something enjoyable, considering it's also been like the same studio that's made Kill la Kill and Space Patrol Luluco. The most important thing for me that I've watched is Cabanero of the Iron Fortress. People do say it's like Attack on Titan, but in my personal take on it, it's much better than Attack on Titan. It has that fear factor that humanity striving to survive, but the difference is that we can already see some development within some characters. It has the townspeople involved, whereas Attack on Titan, you just see the villagers get killed. Here, you also see in Cabanero, you see the villagers putting their thoughts into it, struggle. You see a bit of a conflict going on, and then I mean, like Sebastian said, it has like, a bit of a steampunk, so the atmosphere is more into my interest. So it's been a really good ride, and it's been like something enjoyable. I pretty much recommend other people to watch it. So that's how I can wrap things up here.